Yeah, but then also
the making of a nation.
You've also just talked about something so serious. You said the books that you read changed your life.
Yes.
The video and the story that you've told is going to shape another person's life. Okay, let's go back to this story, Boni. One of the most exciting things that I loved that you did that I didn't even know happened. I can't even fathom how you've created this. No.
I'm joking.
Before Atoli's.
I'm joking.
Which was
Actually,
crazy.
I'm joking.
Guys are going to WhatsApp him this video. Anyway, it was this. Softie. Boni, if there's one thing that I love about you is your level of documentation.
Softie,
let's talk about Softie. And another thing that irritated me about Kenyans, and this is the thing, able hold your book again. You know, me, it was not even an option about it. When I heard Boni has...
Obama wrote something about my book. Hillary Clinton, Willy Mutunga, Goge wa Thiong'o. They have read my book and reviewed it.
And thank you also for the email. I got the email from Obama.
Oh, you did?
Because of you.
Oh.
You know what you sent me.
Yes.
Asante sana. But anyway, what I want to say is Kenyans support other Kenyans. When the movie Softie came out at the cinema, it was not an option for me. I was alone in that whole cinema. Yeah, people can say it's COVID, but I was alone in a cinema with over 400 seats. Actually, were 2. You get, and I had to watch that movie. So let's talk about Softie.
Man, so Softie, so I think I've spoken about myself, and I know about my wife, and I think it would be unfair for me to talk about my wife and her story because it's different.
Yeah,
it's not my story to tell.
It has. But I think watching Softie revealed to me the other side of what happens when someone is out here fighting for the country. Because what the director did, Sam Soko, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Sam Soko! When in poor. Even if this comes out a few days after your birthday.
Yes, but it will be posterity. Today is his birthday. What's the date today?
29th
June is Soko's birthday. He was a director. So he was able to get rapport between him and our kids and my wife. So he followed them I knew he was following them, but I don't know who was filming. And so my wife's family and the fears they had, my wife, when they left the country, living in the US, documenting that life in the US, and then they're documenting my side on this other side. So it's a story of our lives, but it's a story more of Njeri and the price women pay when their spouse is in the struggle. Like, because mostly it's men in the struggle, and then but the price the partner pays or a spouse pays when one of them is in the struggle.
My father who was in heaven, my dad got hurt by that police. Please tell him to get a better job. In Jesus' name we say amen. Amen.
Kenya has been ranked dismally as one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
MP. You have a right.
Boniface Mwangi, folks. This young man is, one word, fearless.
Why are you arresting me? What have I done?
Where are you going?
Going to topple the government.
I can only imagine how scared I'd be. See my husband taken to the streets.
Now he wants to try his hand at politics.
What?
My heart is made up that I'm going to vie.
This is how you're telling it.
Ako tu sawa, ni bora tu ape hiyo.
Asante. Hivyo nipigie kura.
Does Boniface Mwangi have deep pockets? No, he doesn't. Is he on the right side of the tribal kingpin? No, he's not.
He is going to be a casualty of other forces beyond him.
Do not come home. They will kill you.
Activist Boniface Mwangi receiving death threats that for the first time target his wife and children as well.
It feels like just jumping into a river of crocodiles.
and the toll on the kids. And my kids have missed many moments of my kids' growth or celebrations or days because I was out here fighting, and my child had a recitation or it was Father's Day, it was these things. It's a story that even made me cry. I've watched Softie twice and I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
And the thing about Softie, it was documentation. This is actual footage. It's not actors. It is documentation.
I think every Kenyan should watch
years.
Every Kenyan should watch Softie.
And let me even push it for you. Every Kenyan should watch Softie. It is available.
No, it's not available online. However, we're trying.
Even at Mike Strano's, it was removed.
It's no longer there. But we're trying to get Kenyan TV stations. You give it for free, they air it. They're refusing.
What?
Yeah, they're saying it's too political.
But they air political news every day.
Because they're trying to run away from the truth. Let me tell you, if the Kenyans discover the truth about this country, they would revolt for free. They don't even need Boniface Mwangi or any other person to revolt.
Ah, man. Boni, I need to hook you up with Abel Mutua or with Njugush. You find a way to put it on an online platform where you make revenue?
We actually don't make any money. We're thinking the next level of Softie.
YouTube.
Get it pirated. No, you can't get it. YouTube. You can't do YouTube because of copyrights, because it was bought by other organizations abroad. But we have the copyright Kenyan market. So instead of, we don't want your money, just watch it.
Okay, so you have I can help you out with this. We can geolock it to Kenya. So we can actually upload the full video onto YouTube and I geolock it to Kenya. Meaning that anybody outside, have you ever been online on YouTube and it says you can't watch this? It is
However,
blocked.
Can people download?
Yes.
That's a problem.
Okay.
But we're also saying, but the idea is, can people watch it without uploading online? That's what you want them to do.
Okay. I get what it is. Okay, no problem. Anyway, come up with a solution for Softie, because now after this people want to watch Softie. So when you say it's geolocked, you gave it to BBC, bought it.
So BBC bought the rights for Britain, and then PBS bought rights for the US.
So did you make money off that at least?
No, the director spent so much money. They spent about, because they filmed for about 8 years, editing and everything else, they spent about $600,000. That's about 60 million to do it. And I would say thanks to Oriokolo and MPESA, and Oriokolo was one of the biggest supporters of the film, and Ford Foundation. There's a lot of people who give money to the directors, not to us, to do the film. When you watch the film, you understand why it's such a powerful film.
Oh man! So, will they get to a point where you can start making revenue off it?
No, it's not that kind of a movie. Do people make money from documentaries?
I get what you're saying. What if Netflix picks it up?
They don't take political films, like African political films. They are afraid. They're trying to get into the market. So they don't want to get targeted by African governments for featuring stuff of activists like us.
Ah, man, you guys like the system.
It's going against the system, man. It's going against the system. It's the way it is, man.
So the only way that you can literally get through this movie to people legally without you affecting BBC or other people who've been involved. Oh, your mic. We need to change batteries. That's how long it's been. Don't open. He'll just change the battery.
Yo, so Softie is without a doubt the most important Kenyan film ever made. It has entertainment value above all, and that's why we'll pay the money to go and watch it. However, I've not seen a film that lays us out bare the way it does. The reason people appreciate Nairobi Half-Life is because it was the first time for a lot of people that they were seeing
what really happened.
This thing that had been, how do I put it? This medium that had always been reserved for other people suddenly was reserved for us. And we were seeing ourselves there. We saw streets that we know, we had language that we know, we were seeing people drink things that we knew. Like, there's such tiny little details that make the cinematic experience what it is. We're going to, how is it that we know foreign beers? How is it that we know Times Square? How is it that we know that taxi cabs in New York are yellow and that they don't pick up black people? It's because we've seen all this stuff on film. The reason I got into film was because my uncle in the 80s was in the States and he had VHS cassettes.
What's it here?
And he had cassettes and he'd record this stuff, and he had an HBO subscription, and he came with lots and lots and lots and lots of VHSs. We couldn't even watch that shit because it was American system. We had to go watch it in his house. But I was always enamored by watching these films for the first time. That's the power of film. So we saw Nairobi Half-Life, and we're like, we have never seen ourselves being granted this medium, because this medium was owned by white men. When you played the national anthem and sat down at the cinema, it was always a white, a black person that you saw, but it was always from the US or Britain, if you are lucky. But it was always from the US. Now suddenly we're seeing Now suddenly we're seeing a film that's not fictional. This is Boniface Mwangi, who we all know, but suddenly even his life is being laid bare. But when his life is being laid bare, we're exposed to how much danger he puts himself in, and his estrangement from his wife and his kids. And we never saw it from that point of view. So the real star of that film, you guys, if you ask me, is Njeri. She doesn't have as much screen time as he does. Someone the other day was asking me, yo, I really wish that Njeri was more present in the film. I wish that she had more to say. And I'm like, it's a documentary. You don't give a script and say, do this. You film what you're seeing. Soko filmed 600 hours of Boniface Mwangi's life. 600 hours. And cut that into 90 minutes. Amazing. And now that 90 minutes is being seen around the world. And suddenly, Americans are saying, wow, this problem is not ours alone. It's a worldwide. Americans are saying this problem is not ours alone. Yeah, it did. Yeah. So we're not
with Kenya. Any time is the correct time with that movie.
You'd think that we're the ones who are saying. You'd think we're the ones saying, "Wow, kumbe, these problems in Kenya are not our problems alone. Kumbe, America is like this." Let's say Americans who are saying, "Wow, yo, I have such empathy with this film." But let me say this: the people that need to see that film are Kenyans, because suddenly we're laid bare. True. We are laid bare, open, like this is who you are. No script, no nothing. There's nothing there there's nothing there that's augmented. There's nothing there that was written.
Scripted,
everything, nothing scripted. Everything there is what is going on. And at the beginning of the film, you see little Jabu. Jabu is like an infant. And by the end of the film, he's not even a toddler. He's like about 5-6 years old. That's the story of us. And then, now, that's the importance. Now let me talk about the craft. That movie is so well done. Wow. It's the most well done film I've seen. It won the Sundance Achievement Award for editing. Wow. Let's Photoshop. Sundance is the biggest. It's the biggest international film festival in the world.
So he's already won.
Oh, he won the best editing. By the time that film was premiering, it had already earned North American distribution rights through PBS. Their POV.
What the heck?
Their POV documentary program. It had already gotten United Kingdom rights. BBC, iPlayer. Damn. It's on BBC already. Like anyone who's there can just really and watch it.
And watch it, yeah.
It's been winning awards, and now it's actually making a very spirited run for the Oscars. Wow. But that's not the point.
I know! Why aren't we celebrating that?
The point is that film was made for us. And it shows us exactly who we are. And that film's uncomfortable to watch. If someone gets...
Mugash, you've watched it. What did you feel?
I can't, man. By the time the credits were rolling, I was in tears, man.
Is it a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing?
Let me put it this way: everyone is going to go into that film thinking they know what they're going to experience.
That's what I think. That's not the thing, because we've seen it.
You're not ready. You're not ready. You've watched the trailer. You're not ready. You've watched the film. You're not ready. You've watched it the second and third time. You're still not. Good. Because Soko was in there. He was in there. He was filming the most intimate conversations. He filmed Njeri discovering for the first time that
I saw that for elections.
For elections.
Yeah.
He got that on tape.
In fact, I was like, is this scripted?
No, it's not.
That was
conversation, the landmark conversation that they have.
Yeah, I saw that thing.
No, forget the one about Nini. The landmark conversation is where they're in traffic, on the road. In traffic, I think they're on Bagati Way. And Soko is in the back seat, and he has the frame just wide enough that you can see both of them. And they're discussing what's important to you. And Jerry says something, I'm not going to give too much away, but Jerry says, I always feel like you give Kenya your everything and you give us what's left. And I'm doing the other thing. And then and then you realize, shit.
Deeper than that one.
Yes.
Woo.
Because they do a thing of what's the order, and Boni just speaks off the top of his head before Jen even asks the question. He speaks off the top of his head, and you can see the reaction in the car, the feeling in the car. It's like, what?
Mugash, I want you to do this. I've done exactly what would happen with Boni. You are just randomly talking. Me, what I did is I pulled the what's the editor guy called? The guy who was capturing the footage.
It's Soko.
I did exactly what he's doing for Boni, which is you are talking, I just pressed record.
Yes, it's true.
You get?
But you see, I'm talking about a film.
No. But what I want to do is let niggas go and watch the film.
Yes.
But then I want to ask you, tell somebody here who is saying this is Boni. Me, I'm not talking about anybody out of the 254. I'm talking about 254 across the globe. And I spoke with Boni yesterday. I met Boniface Mwangi yesterday, actually. You get? I was with him. And part of what they're going to do is they're going to put this accessible for people across the internet. Yes. But then I want you to talk to guys who are from the 254, aka Kenya, specifically as to why they should watch this film.
Because this film, okay. 50 years from now, kids then are going to be looking back and saying, who am I going to look up to? They're going to make the same discoveries that we are making now. That the history books were a lie, that the news was a lie, that the things that our parents were speaking to us about the truth of Kenya was spoken to us in code, because even they were too afraid of telling us what the real Kenya was, because even they were getting used to that. 50 years from now, there's a movement that's going on now that I think is being curtailed because they want that narrative to continue. Moi was a good person, he died a hero. Uhuru just the other day said, if I wronged anyone, let me be forgiven. Simply because he wants that footage coming back many years from now, and people say, but he asked for forgiveness, which is what happened with M1. He said that thing in 19...
Exactly.
And it was...
We are not inserting a cutaway.
It was just news. But suddenly, some people are able to pull up that footage and make that man a hero. And say, Nyayo Mills and the fact that he asked for forgiveness, or he was humble and he was a professor of politics. People are going to be looking for truth. And among the things that are going to be the truthful records of what Kenya was like in 2020 is going to be that film.
Bro.
That's why you need to watch it.
Okay. Okay. Done.